just seen a heap of crocodiles. They're all freshies.
Secretly shitting my pants right now. Oh wow. We're heading out of Broome this morning. We've spent the last 4 weeks there just relaxing as we've been on the road for 6 months now. So it's nice to base ourselves somewhere for a few weeks to check everything out.
Yeah, it was good to slow down and take it all in. So Broome was lovely. Cape Leveque was awesome. We got some work done on the car while we were here. Had the rear suspension fixed. Just a little shout out to Broome Auto Excellence. They were fantastic. Sorted us out straight away. And so we're ready to go. Head on to Derby and on our way to Kununurra and check out a few things along the way. This is the Derby wharf, and so we've come to check out high tide. This place has the highest tides in the Southern Hemisphere, so it moves about 11 metres every day, and as you can see it's really murky, and it's all silt lifted up from the fast moving tides. So
it's 4:30 in the afternoon now, and this is high tide, and then we're going to check it out tomorrow morning, I think about 11 o'clock when it's low tide, and it's going to look totally different. Won't even look like the same place. We're just checking out the Barb Prison Tree. This one's just outside of Derby. So they used to take the Aboriginals and keep them prisoner inside the tree until the boats were ready to pick them up, and then they used to take them out to the pearl farms and get them to do the work for them. Come back down to the wharf in Derby and it looks totally different here on low tide.
it's almost unrecognisable with how different it is.
We've chosen not to do the Gibb River Road in full, but we are day tripping in. So we headed from Derby this morning and at Windjana Gorge now, then heading to Tennell Creek this afternoon. From Derby, it's about 150 k's and most of it's bitumen. So if you're just after doing little day trips and hitting the hot spots of the Gibb, it's probably best from Derby to do Windjana and Tennell Creek.
We're down at Windjana Gorge and we've just seen a heap of crocodiles. They're all freshies, just out in this little pond here. They're the first crocodiles of the trip, and who would have thought we would have seen bloody 40 or 50 of them from the get-go.
They've got a really good campground here at Windjana Gorge in the National Park. You've got heaps of toilets and they're flushing as well, and you've also got cold showers over there. It's 40 degrees today, so we just had a little rinse off in the shower after our walk. We're going to head on to Tennell Creek now.
We're about to do Tennell Creek. It's a water-torn tunnel beneath the Napier Range, so you get to actually walk through a little cave system. And you've got to make sure you take a torch.
Yeah, and there's freshwater crocodiles apparently and fish in there.
So we'll check it out and it should be quite cool. That's the way. What do you reckon?
Yep.
This is going to be sick. This is actually pretty crazy walking through somewhere like this because you can't see anything and there's meant to be some freshwater crockies in here. Hopefully we see a couple and see Chelsea get jump scared.
5:30 in the morning and we're heading into the Bungle Bungles National Park today. We stayed at a free camp just across the road last night and left the van there all locked up for today to head in and do some walks. We're heading in quite early because it is going to be 40 degrees today and we want to get the most out of the cool morning. Bryce is just letting the tyre pressures down at the moment. It is meant to be 60 k's of pretty crappy road, really windy and corrugated. So he's putting the front tyres to 25 psi and the back to about 28 or 30. This drive to the Bungle Bungles is hectic. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes now and we've only covered 45 k's. It's just really rocky and super windy roads.
So after about 2.5 hours drive in this morning, we've made it to the southern end, which is where most of the Bungle Bungles are.
We're going to do the Domes Loop, Cathedral, and I think the lookout here as well. It's all at the southern end, and then we're going to drive around and do the other end of the park later. We think this is Cathedral Gorge, but there was no sign, so we just kept walking. We're hoping to dip our feet in the water and cool off. Nope, dry as a bone.
So it turns out this is Cathedral Gorge. We got a little bit wrong earlier. Got a bit ahead of ourselves.
This looks much nicer.
A bit more what we were expecting. We stopped last night after the Bungle Bungles at this Bow River rest area. Quite a good little spot. It's quite close to the road, so you hear a little bit of road noise. But there's a few horses over the back here strolling around. I don't know if our old mate Cow is here anymore. He was come through there earlier. But it's not a bad little spot. Good for the night. It's about 200 k's out of Kununurra. So it's a good spot to stop if you want to get there the next day.
We booked in 10 nights at the Kimberley Land in Kununurra. This seems to be the best park here. Heaps of really good reviews and we got a really good price as well. These are the views from the sites. We're up there a bit. I'll show you our site after, right next to the pool, which is amazing. And this is the lake. Apparently there's a crocodile that comes up about 4 o'clock every day. So we're down here trying to spot him. He's heading in.
Oh, that is cool.
This is our awesome campsite at the Kimberley Land. We didn't even book, but managed to get a poolside site. So we're just living in our bathers and just constantly hopping in and out of it because it's 40 degrees and it looks like it's going to be 40 degrees until we leave. We've been talking to the locals here in Kununurra and they told us about this secret spring. It takes you about an hour and a half to get there apparently from the township. So we're going to check that out today. We're not going to tell you where exactly it is because the locals I think want to keep this place a bit of a secret.
So we've just made it down to Secret Spring. It's a bit of a trek. It's about 9 k's full drive track and it'll take you about 40 minutes for a few river crossings. But then you get to this little piece of paradise our own little oasis. It's just unreal.
Another 40-degree day here in Kununurra, so this is perfect.
Check this cool little spot out. This is at the top of the secret springs. Unreal. This morning we've come down to the famous Ivanhoe Crossing. The water's only probably up to your axle height. Watched a couple of people come back and forth, and we'll go do it soon.
Secretly shitting my pants right now.